What's going on, good people? So if you're new to lawn care, if you're new to the channel and you're looking to do a full renovation, everybody's told you, including myself, that you needed to have started this a month ago, 2 months ago. Start burning the lawn down to be able to start over. But what if I told you, if you stick around in this video, I'll tell you how in one day, possibly just a couple of hours, depending on the size of your lawn, you can do a full renovation, wipe the slate clean, get rid of all those weeds, and have the lawn that you desire this fall and going into 2026 for you to build on. You interested? I've already done it. I got the evidence to show it to you. Let's get into this video and let's make this process as simple as we can. You can do it this weekend. You don't have to wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You can do it this weekend, right now. Put your labor in during Labor Day. All right, let's get into this video. All right, so the first 2 steps of this process is just gonna be pretty much foundational, basic things that you need to have or need to be able to do. So step 1 is gonna be know your square footage. Length times width, measure it out, know how much square footage you're working with. This is going to be the foundation for all your products that you're going to need to put down, and also all the products that you'll need next year going into your lawn season to develop the plan that you need to maintain the beautiful lawn that you're about to establish right now in this fall. The second thing is going to be watering. The key to a successful renovation or any seeding project is making sure you have water on it. So establish this either from your in-ground irrigation, or if you have a above ground system, maybe you go to the big box store, you grab you some sprinklers, or you order some professional ones, you put them on some stakes. I got a couple videos out there that show you how you can do that, but you have to have water. So these first 2 steps, you need to go ahead and establish those, knowing your square footage, establish your method of watering. Those are going to be foundational to making sure this is a success. So now it's time to get to work. So the first thing that we're going to do, depending on how bad this lawn is that you're working on, you're going to want to bring down the height of cut on that foliage. May not be a whole lot of grass there, may be a lot of weeds, but whatever foliage you have there, you want to bring that height of cut down to about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. We're not going to scalp it. Typically, if you had already burned it down and everything was all crispy and brown, you would want to go ahead and scalp that all the way down. But in this process, we want to leave some of that foliage there. We're going to be applying a herbicide later on that I'm going to tell you about in this video that you're going to need to make sure that you can get that herbicide on the leaf blade. So you want to leave some foliage there so that that herbicide has something to grasp onto to make sure that you're killing off whatever those weeds or existing grass that's there in your lawn. Now we're going to get into the ground prep. In any renovation, in any of the videos that I've shown you, the ground prep is going to be one of the key portions next to water that's going to make sure that this is successful. So now that we've got it cut down, now we're going to want to expose that soil. So you can do that in a number of ways. You can use an aerator. In this example, I used an aerator because I already had one. I was doing some aerations in other lawns. When this one came up from one of my buddies and was like, hey, I need some help. Can you come help me out? What can you do for me? So this was a last minute call, and that is why we just went with aeration. Already had it available. You could even use a Sunjoe dethatcher. You can put a scarifier on it. You could use a slit seeder. There's a lot of different options out there, but what you want to do is you want to expose that soil. You want to open up that soil, which an aerator is really good for doing that. And here you can see that I'm showing how exposed the soil is after we got done with that aeration. So key point here is making sure that you're exposing that soil, and if you're using a dethatcher, make sure you're picking up a lot of that debris. You want to have this canvas as clean as you can get it, and you also want to make sure that that soil is exposed, and when that seed hits the ground, it's not fighting to get down to the soil. That is the key objective in this portion of the ground prep. Now that we've got the ground prep, it's go time for that quality seed that you're going to be putting down to establish your lawn. So the right seed choice is going to be critical. Making sure that you're looking at your environmental conditions and you're picking the right seed for your area and for the climate that you're going to have it in. So y'all already know I rock with the Mountain View Seed Cultivars. You can find that in my custom Elm Street Elite grass blend. You can find the information for purchasing on that down in the description, or you can find those Mountain View Seed Cultivars in their Platinum lineup, which is in a tall fescue blend, which is called their Optimum. You can also find those cultivars in the 365 SS, which is their Kentucky Bluegrass blend, which is used on a number of professional sports fields. So they've got quality seed cultivars. There are many others out there that you can look at the in-depth trials, and you can find those cultivars out on the market and you can go with them. But what I can say is I stick by the Mountain View Seed Cultivars because they have never done me wrong, and I have been using them for a number of years. And on top of that, now you want to make sure you're also applying a proper fertilizer. You can do that now, or you can wait a couple of weeks, get the grass up and growing, and then you can apply your fertilizer. Me, I told you, you can do this in one day or a couple of hours, so you can put your seed down, put your fertilizer down, and then just be good to go. And that seed will be able to take that nutrients up when it's ready to. Now comes the point where a lot of people are probably gonna be like, hold on, wait. You said do what? Yes, we're going to apply a herbicide over top of the seed that we just put on the ground. Yes, it's been done before. It's been proven that it can be done before. Farmers have been doing this for a number of years. We're gonna come back over top of that seed and we're gonna apply a herbicide. The herbicide that we're talking about is a non-selective glyphosate. So we like to call that, from the Workin team, holy water. So we're gonna get that applied. It is a non-selective, so anything that it touches, it is going to eliminate it. So make sure that you are only applying it to the areas that you want to eliminate that existing foliage, grass, weed, or whatever that is. Make sure you are being very careful with your application, controlling your drift, and making sure you're only targeting your desired plant that you're trying to eliminate. The 41% glyphosate is a pretty common one that is out there. You can go pick that up from a number of areas, or you can order it online. But that is one of the key things to make sure it is glyphosate, the 41%. Making sure that it doesn't have other active ingredients, other herbicides in there, because those other herbicides could impact the germination and the establishment of that seed that you put down. It is known that glyphosate is only effective by taking it in through the foliage and through the plant. It does not get absorbed through the soil, and it does not impact seeds that have not germinated. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that product before you purchase it. Typically, this is a very common and widely used herbicide. Somewhat controversial, but this is a product that you can use to be able to get this done without affecting the impact of your seed germinating or establishing. Once you've completed those steps, your day is done. That is all you're gonna do for the day. The one thing that you're not going to do, is turn on the water at this very moment. You just applied your herbicide, and so you want to make sure it has time to get into the plant to go ahead and start working. So you are not going to immediately start watering this in as you would typically do with a seeding project. Yes, you could wait and not apply your seed right now. You could wait a couple of days after, but I told you you could do this in one day, same day, couple of hours. So this is a process that I was able to use and was able to get great results from this. So you want to make sure that you are giving it at least 48 hours, maybe 72 hours before you actually start watering. That's going to give that herbicide ample enough time to get into the plant, to go ahead and start working, to start killing off that existing lawn or weeds that you've got there. So once you've given it that period of waiting, you then turn the water on. Make sure you're consistently keeping the seed moist. That could mean you have to water multiple times throughout the day. It may be 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Depending on what your weather conditions are, is going to determine how much watering you need to do. But the key to this is you need to keep the seed moist for at least 2 weeks. If you're using some of those good Mountain View seed cultivars that are in any of the blends that I just described, typically you're going to have germination between 4 to 7 days after you turn the water on and you're keeping that seed consistently moist. So this is going to be the key, which is why at the very beginning of this video, I explained to you establishing your method of watering was going to be key, and to do that first. Because we're not going to go turn the water on right now to start figuring out our irrigation after we just applied our herbicide. So at this point, once the water is going, you give it a couple of weeks and you're going to come back and it's going to be time for the first mow. And then once you mow it, you're going to keep mowing it and you're going to keep mowing it. As we get into the fall, you're going to get some good fertilizer down on it, making sure that probably after about that 4 to 6 week mark, you're going to be applying your next round of fertilizer to make sure it is fed and it is establishing this is a cool season lawn. Fall time is when we really fertilize our cool season lawns. It's not during the spring and it's not during the summer. The fall time is where we really build our lawns, getting ready to go into the next year. So at this point, I've shown you the results. I've shown you what it looks like. It can be done, and make sure that you are following these steps. And one of the key things is make sure you're checking the label on your non-selective herbicide, and make sure you do not turn the water on right after you get done applying your herbicide. If you've done all of those things, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get similar results to what I did. If you're keeping that seed moist and you're using a quality seed, you're gonna be all set for the rest of the fall, and going into 2026, you can have a lawn that is the envy of the block. Hey, y'all know, as I always say, just know we work.